Hello, good day, dear ladies and gentlemen. I'm very thrilled to welcome here this session on crisis. I believe that we all have heard very interesting and inspiring stories on digitalization success and how it influences positively societies, governments, how it enhances economic growth, etc., etc. Unfortunately, life has its dark sides as well, as we know. So during this session, let's explore a bit a role of digitalization in the context of wars, crises, emergencies. What benefit can we actually have from digital technologies, tools, things like these during severe situations in the societies? So this question is extremely relevant in the context of Ukrainian war, and therefore I have lovely panelists here from Ukraine, but also from Moldova to share the views and experiences from these countries. So we will not give you examples from Estonia, other than I would like to promote our recent application, which was initiated by the Rescue Board, and now they are heavily promoting it all over Estonia. It has been published also on paper, so it's not available only in digital realm, but also on paper, just to address also elderly people and to reach out to every individual in society. And if you are more interested, you can download the app yourself to explore it more. But now with that, I'm pleased to invite here my esteemed colleagues, Mr. Andrii Piskun, Mr. Oleh, Burba, and Yuriy Matsyk, and Mr. Alexandru Corețchi. The floor is yours. Welcome. So hello once again. Before I start with the questions, I have a huge request to our delighted guests and to the audience. I would love to have very fruitful discussions, so I'm really looking forward to have questions from you. Please be active and use our workshop to ask the questions from our esteemed speakers. So to start with this topic, first question goes to Yuriy. How people can first recognize that there is a situation of emergency or threat? What is your experience from Ukraine in the context of digital tools or technologies?
Thank you for our audience to interest in Ukrainian skills in this time. I'll give you answer in the question. There are several options in Ukrainians for recognizing emergency threat during the war. First of all, it's sirens. Sirens, Ukrainian authority deploys sirens in communities to warn its residents or in immense danger, such as incoming airstrikes or missiles attacks. Their sirens emit distinctive sounds in order to draw people's attention to seek shelters immediately. Also, we're using specific mobile app, air alarms. Its objective is deliver real-time alerts, notification to users in different territories under threats of air attacks. The apps can warn users to nearly risks, including artillery shelling, military actions, chemical or radiation threats, enabling them to take rapid action to ensure their safety. And third, smartphone operation system functionalities. All mobile devices are equipped with built-in operating system emergency alert functionalities that allows users to receive information alerts about dangers without downloading a particular mobile apps. In March 2022, 3 largest mobile operators in Ukraine launched a national free roaming. It means when some customers lose connect with mobile operators, he can use another network with different operators' network. In the first months after the start of this process, 7 million users using these services in Ukraine. Currently, the majority of mobile users are using messaging apps such as WhatsApp, Viber, Signals, etc. That require only internet access. The installation of the Wi-Fi hotspots enable users to make and receive calls through these messengers, even shelters or basements. This is particularly useful during blackouts or network outage when traditional cellular service may be unavailable. By leveraging Wi-Fi connection available at home, in public places, or through portable Wi-Fi hotspots, individual can stay connected with friends, family, and emergency services without depending on cellular coverage.
Thank you for this. Andrii, can you provide some examples of digital services that can be or should be developed during crisis time to make citizens and residents' life a bit maybe easier? What kind of services could support society in such hard times?
Thank you for the question. Hello, everyone. It's really pleasant to be here and to see your eyes on us. So I'm kindly asked to show a number of services which were developed by government in mobile application and portal DIA since full invasion started. So it's a big amount. We need to understand that focus of government changed from only to be convenient, but also to be safe. So the biggest issue now to save the life and to make as possible safety and security to our people. That's why it was launched several services, especially regarding to wartime. So it's, for example, map of points of invincibility. So it's like areas where people can can take some food, some warm, and in blackout to make to have electricity, etc., etc. So also it's an interactive map of shelters, because when you hear air alert, you need to be in safe and you need to find whatever where you can hide. Next, it's a specific service for recovery. So people can apply for support of government when their property, their home really destroyed or damaged. So with damage, it's like money support. With totally destroyed, they can receive certificate to receive their new home. Also, we launched e-enemy chatbot, where people, not only army, not only armed forces, can really have help to force to protect our country. So making to work as to make a photo of technique of enemies, to make position photos, and to send to know how to deal with it next with armed forces. So shortly, that's it regarding safety and security of our people. So
Yeah, thank you. This is indeed every government's and state's ultimate responsibility to make sure that residents, citizens, societies are as safe as possible and to provide relevant safeguards for these purposes. We have read and the Ukrainian colleagues unfortunately have witnessed in person themselves heavy attacks, conventional attacks towards critical infrastructure and especially towards power plants, for instance, which obviously have caused ultimately blackouts, severe blackouts for a longer period of time. Oleh, in this context, can you bring some examples, perhaps, how digital technologies or tools work in this context? Thank you.
Elsa. Thank you. Hello, colleagues. First of all, I would like to thank you for big interest to our topic today. About our question, today we celebrate 10 years of e-government conference, and unfortunately in Ukraine we have 10 years war with Russia, and it's clear that the elements of critical infrastructure includes power plants. It's also the first of all targets for Russian troops, and in this context. First of all, as Andrii mentioned, we in Ukraine have network of points of invincibility. These points of invincibility includes health area, when people, Ukrainian or our citizens can help with electricity, with heat, if we talk about winter, and medicine aid, etc., etc. As usual, in Ukraine, the networks of points of invincibility locate in the social building, like schools, kindergartens, medicine place, etc., etc. And also it's particularly important because in Ukraine this initiative also joined to the business, and the many petrol station, many supermarkets, many another business center also roll out the points of invincibility, and usual people can give help, can take help with elementary points of our real life. It's charge cell phones, charge laptops, etc., etc.
Thank you.
About digitalization, and yes, and as Andrii mentioned, we have a special application for this. When Ukrainian citizen can find location, the nearest location for shelters, for safe health, and points of invincibility.
Thank you. I have an extra question here, maybe a stupid one, but still, these kind of applications and then the information and notifications you provide to the residents about shelters and points of connectivities, etc. Would it be like revealing or exposure the critical information to the enemy?
Yes, first of all, it's not about Ukrainian residents. It's available for all people which in
Yes.
our country.
Yes.
Yes, we know our Estonian colleagues, when we are in the Ukraine, in Kyiv, also use this application for about air attacks and about something else, emergency situation. It's as usual. It's usual life in Ukraine now, unfortunately.
Common information that everyone can see.
So it is, in my point of view, really taking care of any human being in
Thank you.
Ukraine. So it's not only about the Ukrainians, they take care even for enemies to save lives, which is, thank you, Ukraine.
Yeah.
Thank you for this comment. Digitalization prerequisite is most likely connectivity, right? So how to prepare people and businesses and operators and the state as a whole for staying connected, and what technologies should be considered? Yuriy, this is a question to you.
Access to information in this time, this is very important to citizens and people in the. You need now about new information. You will be in connect with your relatives. You need to know how it can find the shelters and save your life. It is especially needs in the territory seriously affected by the war. We are learning and implementing new solutions for ensuring internet access all the time. Each citizen should be prepared for a long-term power shortage. To ensure stable internet access, we recommended use XPON, passive optical network. Only this technology can provide internet access during the long-term blackouts. Citizens need to buy in advance power generator or someone like EcoFlow for ensuring the power reserve for the routers and other devices. Internet providers, on the other hand, need to change technology to Internet XPON 2. One of the advantages of XPON technology, it is reduced cost regarding significantly less investment, 110 times less, to maintain the internet network during the power outage compared to the other optical technologies. After winter 2022-2023, we found the best decision for ensuring internet access. To be honest, we still don't have sufficient XPON coverage, as on the beginning on 2023, only 24% of 8 million customers have this technology at home and the business. After the promotion from the government, in cooperation with private company, and the creation of a special map including indicating in XPON access location, by the beginning in 2024, 41% of 8 million customers were already using the passive optical network. What does it mean? Fixed internet service providers should applicate increased demand of passive internet from customers. Additionally, customers should also have some electricity reserve at home. The most recent case we learned from was the blackouts in Kharkiv and Odessa in March 2024. Some areas in the cities were without electricity more than 72 hours. However, citizens who had prepared early made an internet access through the blackouts all its time. Another scenario to consider is the complete destruction of the network. In such cases, satellite internet service become crucial. With the support of our partners, we have acquired over 47 Starlink terminals in Ukraine. This is the best solution we have found to ensure connection with the digital world. We utilize Starlink for both mobile base station and fixed networks, allowing us to maintain internet connectivity and destroying backbone networks. We can use Starlink even while moving car or train too. And businesses using Starlink terminals and using passive optical network too. And this time, government make some requirements for all operators. They need maintenance network, not less than 72 hours for all customers.
Okay, thank you. Let's proceed with digital documents now. And what is the practice and use cases in Ukraine of digital documents, especially taking into consideration that perhaps it is very difficult to access paper documents in some cases, and then people may lose their paper documents, important ones, to which are necessary for, let's say, daily procedures. So, Andrii, what is the practice in this case?
So, thank you for your question. It's really interesting question. Ukraine have special law which makes equal passport and driving licenses in electronic form in mobile application DIA. It's really equal to paper form. And when war started, try to imagine that your house really destroyed, you have nothing. But cell phone, usually with us, and this time it became not only like paper document or electronic document, it's like something who give you possibility to think in future, to have opportunity to move, to have opportunity to make some things with government, to apply for support, to apply for certificate for new home. So it's like small light and dark. So now really in Ukraine, digital documents freely works. So you can even visit a government authority with electronic form on passport. So also in with start of full scale invasion, government launch it's called e-document. So it's just a document in mobile application which describe data of citizens from demographic register. So no equal paper form with this document, but it's really help, especially for that people who really placed in occupied territory. They try to move through Russia, through Belarus, again to Ukraine, without any documents, but this document allow them to come to consuls or to come back to Ukraine. So these documents and services which I showed before, you can receive information on our stand, because I can speak really long time on this, and it will be really long story. So please come to our stand and we will describe you all what you're really interested. Thank you.
Thank you for promoting your stand as well. I find it very useful as well. So welcome to the stand afterwards. In the context of digital documents, let's say, in my opinion, trust plays a crucial role. And this is a question not only in the context of war crisis, but it also can be extended to the peacetime regime. Regardless of whether we have a crisis or whatever, we need to conduct digital transactions. We need to be sure that the person with whom we interact are the one. And this is the question how to verify individuals, let's say, person, how to identify this person. So let's proceed with the question on electronic identification and trust services. Alexandru, the floor is yours. What is your experience and how can you comment this topic from Moldova's view?
Thank you, Elsa. And it is really important questions because we have one war, but different experience. And I would like to mention that only due to brave Ukrainian citizens, Moldova is not facing the ugliest thing that Moldova should sacrifice lives. So thank you, Ukraine, for your bravery, for your willingness to be a democratic state, and hope together will join European Union. So this is the main fight that we have, not with the enemies, but understanding our capabilities to invent our. We are in the position on reinventing ourselves, learning with fighting, and all together hoping that we will show a new way of surviving. It is really historical times, and the problem of identification is crucial. We face the crisis of adopting when war starts as a neighbor to Ukraine. We have a challenge to host a lot of the people who are attacked. So at that moment, our government decided automatically to give an Moldovan identity to each person who asked for shelter in Moldova. So in that first instance, we realized that person identification is crucial also to have possibility to give all the help it needs and not require them to go physically to some point of service, let's say. So that point of adopting identities and taking care about all refugees, about all the people that need help, also push our services to be reinvented and adopted. That is why we look deeply on how we protect or how we can provide the trust in relation of people with government and not only. So the problem of trust while identifying people and then to be sure that the citizen or refugee or the people who ask for Moldovan identity can access the services and be sure that it is in real need, not faked one, or not driven by other people, let's say, like enemies, or how to say. So protecting our identity is a really crucial moment, and we really looking for technology and adopting the best practices with a care of adopting new technologies, which might be scared, but at the government level, we focus mainly on science and standards that should be in place and is trusted, so that citizens can benefit from all services then the government can deliver to the citizen. I cannot say that we are the leaders in this manner. Even Ukrainians are more advanced because they were pushed to be so, to adopt. We looking for help and for adopting best practices, either from Estonians. We are in the middle of launching similar to DIA application Yevo in Moldova that will fill the niche of more mobile adoption of governmental services. But still, the digital identity and the trusted services that is under governmental control, I think will remain the same, because there should be a trusted services and there should be a trust that government can ensure the people privacy, the citizens, how to say, safeguarding the goods and know about our citizens any needs they have and providing the accessibility around the world. So the pushing is in our days. Ukrainians face physical attacks. We facing digital attacks. It's the same war, as I say, the same war, different experience. So now we are in under attacks every day.
Yeah, we will come to this question later.
Yes. So regarding the adoption of digital identity and provide services, digital services, we are in the way to catch up the good practices in Europe and strive to be aligned with those practices.
Oleh, what is your experience in Ukraine in adopting technologies and, let's say, best practices to ensure trust of transactions and in terms of the trusted services and digitalization and digital identity?
Yes, first of all, I would like to say that totally agree with Alexandru about for our country's way to the European Union in one way, and one of the important tasks on this way is implementing in the country the European standard for trusted service and electronic identification. First of all, about Ukraine and Ukrainian area of trusted service and electronic identification. Now in Ukraine we have 30 trust service quality trust service provider, and all of them provides service in Ukraine like qualified trust service, and about trust for providing this service, all of our providers using information from the state registers for identification, and first time our people need to physically go to the quality trust service provider, and after that it's possible to give next obtain digital ID, and another points, another important elements of our ecosystem of trust service and first of all electronic identification. In Ukraine we have integrated system of electronic identification. It's a system for combine all electronic identification scheme and connected all trust service provider to one place. And it's very important elements of this ecosystem. And now more than 400 another system connected to this ESA system and use this service for trusted to clients to this electronic system. And about our Ukrainian achievement and about impact of EGA, Electronic Government Academy, to this way. In frame of our project, first of all, the main goal is implemented the European Union standard in Ukraine. Our experts are working on this topic, and first of all, we supported to implement and harmonized our legislation in Ukrainian legislation, totally harmonized with EIDAS 1, and now the next step we work with Ministry of Digital Transformation under the implemented the next EIDAS 2 under EIDAS 2 reglement, etc., etc. And also in generally in Ukraine we roll out all needed elements of European Union standards infrastructure. The EIDAS node, it's a special solution for using for electronic identification, for example, Estonian people in Ukraine and Ukrainian for Estonian people. But
it's really convenient.
yeah, really convenient. But we have maybe the most important, we need to sign mutual recognition agreement between Ukraine and European Union countries for fully implemented this solution.
Exactly, as to recognize.
Yes, yes.
Otherwise, it wouldn't.
But we
work
tested
on
this with Estonia, with Austria, with other countries of European member.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for this. Alexandru, coming back to Moldova, before Oleh, you brought up a very interesting term, this digital war. There is a conventional war, there is a digital war. Would you open up a bit current situation in terms of cyber threats in Moldova? You were hit very heavily during last month. I know that DDoS was, let's say, one of the examples, but otherwise, what is the situation first? And secondly, can you provide us some tips and recommendations on digital technologies and tools, how to cope with these threats in digital realm? Thank you.
Thank you, Elsa. I will try to be very short because I have, in future, I will write books about how we surviving during this war. But now it is very important, the awareness of the people, of the public servants and the citizens to be educated and recognize what can be done in digital space and what cannot be done, because the choice of doing something can very bad affect not only personal life but also systems, also entire digital ecosystem. So the behavior, the understanding what is can be done and what is cannot be done, it is essential. Now going deeper with the war that we have from let's say not democratic world and providing and sustainable providing by some criminal groups against Moldova, against let's say, not the system is the target. The target are citizens, the willingness, our determination to be a nation integrated in EU is under the attack. So we deeply understand that not the country, not the system are targets. The targets are our mind and determination to be integrated in European Union. So they using to have a similarity, they using tanks, rockets, and other tools, but in digital space. And I feel that they testing new technology in Moldova in this war. Why so? Because I can really show the recent attacks that we didn't expect. For instance, attacking network time protocol, which is very sophisticated, but in case they succeed to have their time in your system can affect entire communication across each digital system. So we experienced that, and I want to ask you to protect and have your own network time protocols in your networks, and be aware to synchronize not only with one, let's say, trusted time service provided, but have at least 3. And to be aware that you can autonomically survive in the safety of the communication in your networks. Yes, we also adopted passive optical network to ensure, so we looking the best practices that Ukrainians have. Also stealing your idea to have public Wi-Fi communication just to be prepared and to be more near to people to announce the threats or other problems that we might face. So learning from neighbors is good, and also we pushing to adopt new diverse type of technologies. So in our governmental services, in the peace war, we developed a good technology and cloud. So all the systems are centralized in Moldova in governmental data centers and in own cloud, let's say. So we thought that is good. But now we realize that this is a attractive point on attacking digital space. So we should adopt different technologies to protect our cloud systems, our networks, and not only to protect. Yes, we discover the weaknesses in technology, and why. Every technology that we procured and align our defense strategy is known by enemies, because we striving to be transparent in all our decisions also provide information and advantages for the enemies to know how attack us, which I mean we need to reconsider also how we procure and adopt and how we design our defense strategy. Defensive things is we are hitting with attacks that works specific to our defense or against our defense abilities, because they know what we have and what we have prepared. Yes, we're still looking for different approaches, and I love the SOC as a template approach of the Netherlands, and we adopted internally, and it's open source. So this is the mechanism that we do compensatory protection together with the technology that is known. So we adopted open and free tools to compensate the vector of attacks, and it really works. So being agile, having possibility to adopt compensatory mechanism, compensatory technology will definitely help your system and your networks to survive against those attacks.
Thank you, Alexandru. Extremely interesting conversation, and I'm so sad that we are running out of time, so we cannot go through all the questions here. But I would like to continue with the question on resilience. Yes, one is how to respond, yes, and technologies to use to respond to attacks, but to keep resilience and to let's say provide backup of data to maintain integrity, availability, confidentiality of important data of states, of government. You definitely have some experience with this in Ukraine as well. In war times, Oleh, can you comment how or what kind of mechanisms have you implemented?
First of all, in the wartime, before wartime, government need to implement backups and another nodes of the critical digital infrastructure. First of all, our activities in the start of Russian invasion in Ukraine show us that the main question on this way it's also legislation question, because without legislation we can't, for example, relocate our system to abroad. We can't use cloud for relocate from the government cloud to the another clouds. Yes, and first of all legislation. After that, the readiness to technical supporting this, and third part it's maybe money on this, and help of European Union and Estonia. It's very important for Ukraine, really.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to take one question from the audience. Since this coping with crisis, wars, pandemics requires whole of society effort, and also in terms of digital innovations and transformation. And a very good question actually is asked here, that what are the practices in attracting private sector to digital transformation and to develop services, digital services during the wartime? The question to you, maybe Oleh or Andrii, can you comment?
So it's a really interesting question. Yeah. I think that our businesses continue to work with electronic services. It's not really about government services. It's not really about public services. It's, as Yuriy said, it's about providers of mobile phones services. They really do a lot to make sustainable connection in Ukraine. So also, as Yuriy Oleh mentioned, it's providers who rebuild their structure to optical lines. They rebuild. They might have generators. They might have sustainable work. Also, bank sector also trying to go online further, better and better to make as less movement as it possible. So I don't know. I answered this question. Maybe someone will add.
Yes, maybe a couple of words about, as we could see our Brazilian colleague about Rio. In Ukraine, we have some competition between the big city in field of development, special application for citizens of this for this city and launched more and more services, first of all, for citizens of the city. And about another points of involvement to the public sector, in it's first of all, it's like a client to the another national services, services of identification, using, for example, Trembita system. It's like X-Road in Ukraine, yes, and another government service for people for
This
business.
question we can speak a lot alone. So
No, but
Yeah.
in my perspective, I saw how fast is developing Ukrainian. They maybe don't realize how good they are. So having those elements of protecting people, of ensuring the services to know where I can have food or where can I shelter myself to save life, they didn't realize, but we observed they are really good and really
Thank you.
good moving
Yeah, so
and,
true,
and
true.
providing the ideas that we even not thought that are necessary to have under governmental or public services. So I'm really know that without the private sector involvement and the citizens and the other people contribution to developing and adopting those ideas is really brilliant. So you are
Thank you.
good.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you for these kind words. And since we are in a session on crisis, let's do some crisis communication now, gentlemen. And with that, I'd like to give a floor to Yuriy. He has one announcement to make to the wider audience. So, floor is yours.
I need stand up. Hello. We face daily struggles due to Russian attacks on critical and telecom infrastructure. Without support from our partners, survive would have been impossible. I am here to remind the world of the crucial importance to unite in fighting against Russia regime. We are each to share our experience on maintaining resilience during military challenges. However, this knowledge comes at a heavy cost, the lives of thousands of Ukrainians lost to war. Therefore, I seize this opportunity to draw attention to the Peace Formula Summit organized by Ukrainian government in June this year and urge you to join us. According to our information, Russia is trying to disrupt this summit. This means that the Kremlin considers this event as a threat. So by continuing to work on the peace formula, Ukraine is moving in the right direction. Putin's main goal is to do everything possible to keep the war going. What is why Russia has used all its diplomatic efforts and resources to disrupt the unification of the world around peace formula. Kremlin officials constantly claim that a peace formula is profanation and that is ineffective. However, attempts to disrupt the summit of the formula show the opposite. Putin is afraid of the result of this event. Diplomacy is one of the Russians' front, and it is currently gearing up for the innovations attempting to disrupt the peace formula summit. Ukraine stands prepared to confront this battle with dignity. If the entire world were to unite around the Ukrainian peace formula for peace, Putin would no longer be able to hide behind his lie to continue the war. Thank you for your attention.
And also, I join with Yuriy to thank you all for your attention, for asking questions, and I believe that we can take our conversations onwards now to the lunch and continue there. And hope you picked up some useful information from our colleagues and panelists here. So thank you again. Wish you a very good day. Stay safe.
Thank you, Elsa.
Thank you, Elsa.